issue is, but I can make a
Casey
guess.
members, the people that read Edgar Casey and love Edgar Casey, love it. But
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Anyway, what's in it is essentially it talks about the history of the world, how we got here, creation, what we were before, and then it talks about what the problems are in the world, why we have wars, why we have greed, why we have people hurting each other, and then the solution. And then you have to first identify it, that it's something that's within each and every one of us, both the problem and the solution. We've got a dark side, we've got a selfish side, a greedy side that, unchecked, causes all these problems. And even in small ways, it causes the problems in our lives. And also inside is a part of us that's God and the Christ. And if you nurture that side and starve the other side, don't fight it, but starve it, you can completely change your life, and that's the way to change the world. Is start with yourself. It's one person at a time.
Right, we have to do it that way, and we've certainly made that point so many times. People will call or write in, Johnson, and say, "What can I do? I'm just one person," and that's the point. You can do a lot as one person. You start out each day and do one good thing extra each day, one kind thought, one kind deed, one good action, and it will multiply, and it'll be read and received by others who will be tempted to do the same, and encouraged in many cases to follow through with that temptation. We'll be right back with Jon Peniel in just a couple of minutes. I'm Jeff Rense. Glad you're here. Okay, back with Jon Peniel. John, I've spent many programs talking about the sense that many people have, not only of an underlying anxiety, which I have also talked about, but that the Earth, that time as we know it, is speeding up. Things are going faster and faster as they move towards some kind of a resolution.
Yeah.
What's your read on that?
Well, it's absolutely true. Everything is speeding up exponentially, and the last year, it's been even, as every year goes by, it's even more noticeable. But
okay, all right. As we moved into 1988, got a little faster in 1999, faster. I don't know where the heck 2000 went. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It's like it's Monday, and then you turn around, it's Monday again.
That's right.
I want to mention real quickly, too, because we're on the book thing, is that it not only talks about that type of thing, but it actually gives a step-by-step program of how you can change. And then also a follow-up book called the Golden Rule Workbook of how you can work with your family and your friends and make these kind of spiritual changes to where you can get to the point where it's not going to matter what happens to the physical world around you, because you'll be able to transcend it. But you'll also be a positive contributor to making things as good as you can to the physical world around you also.
There are a few others talking in similar fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Are there others on parallel tracks to your own, John, that share your knowledge, your wisdom, have gotten it from similar sources, or are otherwise sympathetic to the extent that you say, hey, that guy's doing good work, or that gal's doing good work?
Yeah, definitely.
Who are some of the people you respect? Any names?
One of them is Swami Satchidananda, who has a place called Yogaville in Virginia.
Yogaville.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like that.
Great name.
You gotta like that.
And they're doing all kinds of good things.
But there are a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
I
use a description in the book of one of the unfortunate things, and that's what I was doing with the ambassador a long time ago, is that you can look at spirituality and achieving oneness as a mountain, and the oneness is the top of the mountain. That's where you finally achieve oneness. And there are people climbing this mountain. They're at all different levels of consciousness. And they can even get very close to the top. But they don't see each other because they're on other sides of the mountain. and they have slightly different beliefs, but they still have spiritually evolved.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they'll get to the very top where they see the whole picture, and they see all these people that are coming up from all different directions. They're all going to end up at the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And the Children of the Law of One, of course, started a long time ago, and actually was the force behind founding so many things like Buddhism. Buddha was one of our teachers. Jesus was the head of the Children of the Law of One in many different lifetimes, if you believe in reincarnation. So the impact and influence has spread throughout the world from that central source. And then those, have splinters, and of course then some go awry, and some founder dies, and they don't get it, and it becomes a religion.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep. How much time do we have before there are those who are liberated, as you said, getting ready to consider reality beyond this mortal coil? How much time do we have before the thing really starts to... It's slipping and disintegrating. You can almost hear it breaking up, disintegrating. How much time do we have?
I sent out a prophecy alert warning to people that have signed up, on our email group last week because of certain events, a combination of the economy and what's happening with food right now. This is one of the old prophecies, and indicating that time is very, very short.
And one thing that bothers me are how people are saying, gee whiz, the foot-and-mouth crisis, the mad cow crisis, we won't have anything to eat. It's absurd. It takes so many pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of beef, as I said.
Well,
if we could just cut back 10%.
Like you're talking about Starlight, there's a whole bunch of other things that are going on like that. It's not just the one thing in the vegetable arena. And it's been happening for a long time. And there are places that sell antique seeds, so to speak. And
Jerry Gadetti, our wonderful colleague who has an offer from the ArcInstitute.com, non-hybrid seeds, and you folks might want to get some of those while the getting is good, because they're going to be worth gold in a few years. Everything's going to be contaminated.
Or maybe before a few years.
Maybe in a year.
I think people need to start their own gardens, too.
You bet. We got to get back to the Victory Garden issue. You can raise all you need on a very small piece of land for a family of 4. Very small.
And the stuff we're working on, Jeff, is mind-boggling. I mean, we're using ancient technology and some new technology where we can anywhere double to, 24 times the amount of food production that people just aren't using. And there's new technology out there that you can do. There's closed system environmental things like aquaponics, where you grow fish and the fish tank water fertilizes your hydroponic plants.
All right.
And that purifies and gives the pure water back to the fish. You can do it solar. There's a lot of things, and we're incorporating them all in our World Food Project. And it's made for small scale, third world, United States, wherever, small family farmers or small families themselves. And hopefully we have the time to get it finished and start having educational programs where people are taught how to do this themselves. We also have an 800 number, by the way, for people who don't have computers. It's 845-7991.
800-845-7991. 800-845-7991. Complete catalog of materials can, I guess, be acquired that way.
Well, it's tough. You can talk to somebody and get some things, but I think we just completed a catalog for the first time.
People don't understand. It's not cheap to send catalogs out to people.
No, we're just printing off a color printer off of the web pages.
Yeah. Well, if you can get to the website and look there, that's the easiest way to do it.
But there's one device that was invented in Australia that we started experimenting with about 2 years ago. We got 2 dying tomato seedlings from Walmart, and we put this device in the water for one of them and not in the other. Overnight, and this was shocking, literally overnight, one of the 2 tomato plants grew 4 inches higher, or seedlings, I should say, grew 4 inches higher and got greener and healthier. And then after a few weeks, it was about double the size, and that one started bearing little green tomatoes, and the other one had none.
And this is a mechanical device?
It's an electrical device. It does some kind of treatment to the water. It's supposedly making it more molecularly absorbable to the plant.
Right. Well, that sounds a little bit like the clustered water concept.
It could be. It is called aquaponics.
We're going to do a program on clustered water very soon.
When?
I'm looking right now at my schedule here.
I'm going to have to keep track of you,
Well, we got a lot of good people on the program.
I know.
Let's see. I think it might be coming up, this week. Dr. Leela Rensen, clustered water, this Thursday, the 29th.
Is this for drinking also or something?
It's for drinking, it's for anything. And what he's done, some of the work they've done, they've been able to magnify and photograph the molecular structure of water after it has been, here we're back to the resonant sound again, after it has been exposed to, say, symphonic music, rock music. You ought to see what rock music does to the water. Oh, you'd know, you'd figure out. It looks like a 20-car automobile crash when you play some magnificent classical music or other harmonically balanced and meaningful and significant noise, sound, energy. The water becomes these beautiful art forms.
Well,
it's amazing.
The trouble is things get lumped together, and there's some really beautiful rock music, but not very much. And there's a lot of really bad classical music. Also, so
there really is.
It have to do with the consciousness that's behind, like Bach's stuff is just mind-boggling. And I mean, the record of what he did, like Air on the G string. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but he wrote that out of the body, looking down the earth and looking at the lights of 3 cities. And he heard the music then, and he rushed back down into his body to write it down. This is a historical record.
Amazing. Well, anyway, we'll have a lot of pictures about clustered water, and you'll be able to see what it does, that water does when it is exposed.
I'd like to experiment with some of that.
Yeah, well, it actually does. I mean, you see these things, we've all seen the beauty of a snowflake.
Yeah.
Well, these water molecules begin to take on the appearance of something that gorgeous, and they're all different. Whatever the sound, the sonic element that's introduced to that water is, it creates a perfect and mirroring kind of result in it.
So he's changing the water using sound.
That's right.
Wow.
It's distilled water. I don't know the exact mechanism. We'll find out this Thursday. But another remarkable discovery about the world around us and how what we do, what we put out. And one would also think, John, and it wouldn't surprise you, that thought energy could do the same to water as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just an acoustic kind of sound.
Yeah.
So when you bless water, you are changing it.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but true. And we'll look forward to another conversation, my friend. Thank you for making 2 hours available for us tonight. It's good to talk to you and know that you're doing well. If indeed things are hard, that's the way it has to be.
It's true.
Nothing knocks at your door anymore and says, "Here, you just won $1 million. You got to earn it."
Yeah.
Anyway,
God's will be done.
Indeed. Thanks, John. Great to speak with you.
Thank you, Jeff. You too.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
All right. And that's Jon Peniel. His website, again, is available clicking right below his name on my homepage, and it'll be linked to his name right in our guest registry, so you can go there anytime at all. It is an excellent site. Just for the record, it is www.atlantis.to. Real simple. And we'll be back.